the Relic couldn't save Jackie Wells. I know that this is a popular theory. Hell, some of you are probably throwing your hands up at the idea of alternate headcanons being snapped away. But it's true, and give me some time to explain. You'll possibly have a new perspective opened up on what the Relic is, how it saved V, and many of the central plot points in 2077 by the end of this video. Or we can all keep wallowing in despair with the thought that Jackie tossed his life out the window when he removed the Relic. I'm doing this for you and I, Choom. So if you end up enjoying the video or learning something new, please leave a like down below and check out the rest of my content. I'd greatly appreciate your support and feedback. Without any further delay, let's begin. So to lay the foundation for V and Jackie's scenario, we need to establish the purpose and function of the Relic itself. This biochip prototype was developed with the intent of commercial distribution to the wealthy elites of the Cyberpunk universe. It made a dangerous promise: immortality, a concept many might be opposed to if Arasaka hadn't disguised it as a rudimentary tech to store psyches capable of only basic communication, lacking even the slightest of self-awareness, rather than admitting the disturbing truth. The Relic, no matter its version, was a dressed-up version of Soulkiller for a capitalist venture to create very much self-aware digitized consciousness, also known as engrams, of celebrities, important cultural icons, and artists, all for commercialization. A dialed-up, far more disturbing version of corporations buying the AI rights to people's likeness in our real world. Yeah, weird, isn't it? Arasaka geniusly managed to disguise the most feared weapon of the early 21st century into a commercial product that can be sold for profit, a fate far worse than death, now being desired by the world's wealthiest as the Secure Your Soul program.
Why? Why can't I talk to her?
Because Mom got really sick and had to leave. But I know she's watching you from on high and that she loves you very much.
Preston says that his dad died, and he can still see him and talk to him whenever he wants.
Because Preston's dad, he didn't go to heaven like your mom.
Preston says his dad is in an even better place than heaven. He's at Arasaka.
Sweetie.
And he said if we had more money, then Mom could also be at Arasaka instead of in heaven. And then we could go and see her together every day.
Honey, I'm sorry.
One of the worst bits being that these engrams can be edited to some extent after creation, leaving your soul in the hands of a soulless corporation.
Champagne? Nice surprise.
Consider it a token of my gratitude. I know you don't often agree to use the Relic, but, well, you don't usually make an engram of a living person either.
Oh, come on. Arasaka's taken a keen interest in Lizzie's career. Be a shame if it ended prematurely. A backup copy seems to be the most sensible solution.
About that, once you made the backup, can you tweak it to remove undesirable traits? Because Lizzie, ever since her conversion, she hasn't been herself.
I'm afraid that's impossible. Engrams saved in the Secure Your Soul program cannot be edited. But how significant would these edits be?
Significant. Sometimes I don't even recognize her. Other times, never mind. Let's have a drink. To our partnership.
Oh, fuck. You heard what I just heard, right? Relic. They want to do her like they did me.
Not exactly. They wiped you. Here, they just want to make a backup.
A backup? V, we're talking about a person, not your vacay snaps. Guy didn't even ask. He's just going behind her back. He's got no right to do it. Nobody has that right.
Now, before we continue, I want to make something clear. Yeah, I agree that engrams aren't immortality in the traditional sense. When V is soul killed in Mikoshi, they're dead, and are now replaced by a new entity, coded to perfectly mimic the original. But that also means that the Relic never actually revived V, since their brain was immediately being overwritten. So V is only the main character for Act 1, oh well. That is, unless you want to dive into philosophy, which could bring up several arguments for what constitutes the original person, a soul, consciousness, etc., which I don't want to get into in this video. But you should consider what immortality means in the eyes of a celebrity, and in the context of Arasaka and this video. It's immortality in name and personality. Fame itself is a form of immortality, and what better way to continue being known than have an interactive version of yourself that continues to live on far after your death, even if you're dooming essentially a clone of yourself to eternity of being controlled by Arasaka. But there's an issue here. Despite the relic inserted in V's brain, coincidentally taking up some of the known features of the commercialized version, such as having an engram to see and speak to, it's a completely different version. This chip, known as Relic 2.0, was a top secret project personally commissioned and supervised by Saburo Arasaka, intended for internal use within the corporation only, never to be sold. Unlike the original biochip, which was only used to communicate and store engrams with artificially integrated limitations, Relic 2.0 contained a system which was meant to install and activate the engram in a new organic body. The core idea of the project was to implant a digitized psyche into a new host, effectively creating true and physical immortality through body hopping. After the new host body had all neural and cardiac functions terminated, the relic would automatically expand into the host's brain using nanotechnology, beginning the process of overriding and correcting the brain to host the new personality. Internal testing of Relic 2.0 showed promising results, but Arasaka scientists had difficulty preventing the personality construct from becoming emotionally unstable after re-implementation, and the biochip eventually failed in every trial. So why is it that despite its setbacks, the Relic 2.0 managed to work on V? Well, the Anders Hellman interrogation reveals some information on this.
This one's rarer. Meant to install and activate the engram in a new body. When I left Arasaka, the project was still in the trial phase.
How exactly was this new version supposed to work? Were you planning to have the engram kick people out of their own bodies? Is that shit by design?
During the tests, we assumed that the body would be neurally indifferent during implantation.
You mean dead?
Yes, which makes what happened to you interesting indeed.
So from our understanding, the goal of the relic was to be implemented after death, not beforehand. Hence why it didn't immediately start overriding Jackie or V. The process of overriding the host was to be implemented before and during death. But there's more to it. It's the key piece of information I'm about to present that explains why it couldn't save Jackie. The key difference being the source of death. V was shot in the head by a small caliber pistol. V survived because the bullet damaged only the brain and partially the relic, which is what made the contained nanites activate and start fixing the damage, a positive side effect of their function to work on the brain. So in theory, why wouldn't the relic work on Jackie? Would he have been so lucky if he had just left it slotted? Well, I don't think so. This ultimately comes down to two key points about Jackie's death. First, how and where the damage occurred. Jackie was shot in the gut by Arasaka security. Security that we can only assume aren't using nearly as kind of weaponry as the lame-ass Dexter Deshawn. Second being what specifically caused his death: excessive blood loss. The nanites required to save V's life weren't programmed in such a way to interact with the rest of the body, though let's say they were and managed to activate pre-death and make their way to his torso to repair it. Even if these nanites had stitched him up, by the time they would have, he had lost too much blood for it to matter. So unless the relic has an invisible blood bag connected on an invisible IV pole with the perfect blood type, Jackie was bound to die. So yes, if Jackie had the relic slotted at his time of death, he would have remained dead. Then the story would continue like it was fated to anyway. Or maybe he would have been revived, went to meet Dex with V, then got shot and dumped again anyway. Really though, it ultimately comes down to the concept of fate in the 2077 universe. Fate that Misty seems to read astonishingly well. But fate in 2077 is a topic for another day. And that, Chooms, is everything I have to say about the relic and why it wouldn't save Jackie. This video probably didn't break any new grounds. Really, I just want to tell you all that the Relic couldn't save Jackie, so we could all suffer some more together. Let me know if you disagree and what your reasoning might be, and if you learned anything new. As always, a huge thanks to all the channel members up on screen. I genuinely appreciate every single one of you, and even to this day, I'm surprised I got even a single viewer, subscriber, and especially a single channel member. Creating content for you all is one of the best breaks from the daily cycle that I could have ever asked for. So as always, have a great week, and I will see you later, Chooms.